a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
When I finally tracked her down, she wasn't using the facilities. She was in a familiar clearing, where the Council of Cloven Elders had once put Grover on trial. The place didn't look so good. The grass had turned yellow, the 3 topiary thrones had lost all their leaves, but that's not what surprised me. In the middle of the glade stood the weirdest trio I'd ever seen. Juniper, the tree nymph, Nico D'Angelo, and a very old, very fat satyr. Nico was the only one who didn't seem freaked out by Mrs. O'Leary's appearance. He looked pretty much like I'd seen him in my dream. An aviator's jacket, black jeans, and a t-shirt with dancing skeletons on it, like one of those Day of the Dead pictures. His Stygian iron sword hung at his side. He was only 12, but he looked much older and sadder. He nodded when he saw me, then went back to scratching Mrs. O'Leary's ears. She sniffed his legs like he was the most interesting thing since ribeye steaks. Being the son of Hades, he'd probably been traveling in all sorts of hellhound-friendly places. Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Ethan from Cabin 6.
Hey.
Hi, Ethan!
Hi, Raye. Hi, Charlie.
It's a boy. It's my
It
bud.
is.
Also, it's very fitting that you now have a hellhound of your own.
I do.
Aw, good.
She's fantastic.
We were talking about Ethan's dog before this.
She's actually sleeping about 3 feet away from me right now.
But can she shadow travel?
I've yet to find out.
You know what?
The mysteries.
We'll find out. I'm telling you, you're gonna just walk your dog one day, and she's just gonna, like, go off into a sprint, and then you're gonna be like, floating like it does in cartoons, and then you just go through a magical shadow portal, and you're gonna scream your face off.
Well,
and end up
that's
in
what
Connecticut,
happens.
I guess.
Yeah. All roads lead to Connecticut, I guess.
Fucking Connecticut, of all places.
I don't know, like, what stereotypes there are about Connecticut. The only thing I know is, like, rich people live there.
That is
Right?
all you need to know. I think that's it.
I didn't even know that much.
All I knew was, like, snobby rich people live in Connecticut.
If anyone here wants to hear about people from Connecticut talking about this book and where Luke is from, I recommend Monster Donut. Because in their last Olympian episode, they just went off about Westport, Connecticut, because they're both from there.
Oh, okay.
It was hilarious.
Good.
Yeah. So,
We love that.
what the fuck happened in this chapter, right?
Oh,
Did we-
some things, a variety.
Did we drive
not
our
that many
dog
things,
into
actually.
a tree?
Okay.
I think.
So I was thinking about, like, I was reading it, and I was like, that's not accurate. It's not like Mrs. O'Leary, like, bowls over Juniper. But, and then I got to later in the chapter at the very end, and I was like, okay. But they do not drive into the tree. They drive into the shadows around the tree.
Yeah.
Okay, they were very close to the tree. It's not like the intent was
This is not
evident.
platform 9 3/4. We didn't go into the tree. The tree was not touched, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So the only way that Percy could make it through platform 9 3/4 is if he was on Mrs. O'Leary and there was a shadow over the
Right,
entrance.
I'm
this one
sure
would have
there
to be
is
the
at
right
some point
angle.
in time. Though, let's be honest, why would Percy Jackson be anywhere near there?
No,
What-
he would
what's the
not
point?
vibe. Percy hates school. Okay,
Right. So he'd probably get kicked out of Hogwarts on his first day.
literally.
I know this is a Harry Potter question, but, like, can muggles just wander in there?
No, they
No,
cannot.
they can't.
I've never thought about that before, okay? I'm just
It's-
like, could Percy Jackson make it through there?
It's
He's not-
locked to
he's not a
wizards or
wizard.
whatever. Yeah.
But he's not a muggle.
He
Could
is,
he
though.
walk
He's a
in there?
demigod. He's magical.
He's half
He's a magical
muggle, half
person.
god. Those are... It's a different thing.
I don't know. Could a centaur go through 9 3/4? We don't know what the magic blocks. But this is a question for a Harry Potter podcast.
But in Harry Potter, there isn't the mist. So muggles will see shit that happens, no matter what.
If there's like a centaur walking around on the platforms, they're gonna be like,
They're
what the
gonna know
fuck?
about
I was giving an example of a magical creature that wasn't a wizard, okay?
No, there are centaurs in Harry Potter. Like, that wasn't a bizarre thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. I don't know if they could, because they're not a wizard, they're a magical creature, which is a whole different thing in that universe. Yep. Okay. Let's move on.
This is not the fandom we're supposed to be talking about, but I'm trying to cross it over.
Shout out to Christina and the entire cast of the restricted section. We love them here.
Indeed.
Thank you guys for struggling through all of that. So we don't have to.
Thanks for dealing with that mess.
Though, I'm going to come out and say it, Percy Jackson is a better YA protagonist Harry Potter will ever be.
He is. He's much better...
My delightful little guy.
You know, male protagonist with black hair and green eyes.
Have you ever read Harry Potter fanfiction? This is a complete digression, but...
I've only read one Harry Potter fanfiction in my life, and it's the most famous one.
Mm.
Well, My Immortal. My Immortal notwithstanding... I have read, like, one other... Okay, this was a very interesting one. It was a Doctor Who Harry Potter crossover fic, where the different David Tennants, like, swapped places. like Barty Crouch and 10th Doctor swapped places.
Claire would absolutely go feral over that.
It was very good for like a little. I don't think it ever got finished, but like when I read of it, it was very good and very interesting. And then we get a redemption arc for Barty Crouch Jr. because he started becoming the Doctor's companion. It's just two David Tennants running around.
We love that.
Good for them.
I fucking love David Tennant. He's such a great dude.
Anyways, I was just gonna say, if you read Harry Potter fanfiction, Harry's personality is completely different in every fic, and that's because he has no personality. Hot take.
You're right. Are you saying he's the original Bella Swan?
Or any of the kids from the Chronicles of Narnia?
My second hot take, Bella Swan has more personality than Harry Potter.
Despite what the movies would have you believe.
Yes, true.
Oh my goodness.
Bella Swan is stupid and self-sacrificial. She has a whole thing going on.
I love Kristen Stewart, but like they just did her so dirty. The entire cast hates the movies.
Some people love those movies, and I am just so baffled by it.
My mother?
Because all of the directing and acting and the way that they have it set up is so bizarre and weird and bad to me. They were fun to see in the theaters when everyone was going like fucking wild. Like,
no,
the audience energy was kind of worth
Twilight.
it.
I was so anti-Twilight when I was a kid.
I wasn't.
You were forced to not be. It's not your fault.
As a assigned female at birth person, yeah.
Well, as a current and practicing male, I was because these movies came out when I was in elementary school, so I probably wouldn't have seen them anyway. But like I heard people talk about them. I saw things.
I was the target age group because I was in middle school.
Okay,
and we would have the Team Edward versus Team Jacob arguments. Obviously, I was Team Jacob because he was hot, and not because I thought he was better for Bella. I wanted to have him. That's why.
That's valid of you. No,
I'm swapping out Bella for myself because I want Jacob.
I was always anti the Twilight movies, not because I hated Twilight. It was because I liked the Twilight books and I thought they did them dirty. I was already into it by the time the movies started coming out.
No, I hated Twilight on principle.
Okay.
I've since learned that I was partially correct in that opinion, but
the first movie is a beautiful meme, and that's why I like watching the first movie.
I, to this day, have not seen a single Twilight movie.
Oh, but where the hell have you been, Loka?
I've only been exposed to that through memes.
I know.
That's the only way.
I'm trying to decide if it would be worth it for you to watch it or not, and I really don't know.
I would only watch them to make fun of them.
Ethan's new
That's
podcast.
the correct way to do it.
The 5 Twilight movies, and that's it. It's just those 5 episodes.
Oh,
Could be good.
I'd have to break it up into like 1 hour like chunks of movie per
You're
episode.
gonna cut it like MC did with the Tolkien movies.
Oh
my god. You gotta watch
Oh, poor Mary Clay.
like 57 minutes in. And
Yep.
then
Yep.
Anyways, this has been enough digression. Percy drove his dog into a tree.
Indeed he did.
we got from there to Twilight.
These things happen
Hey,
sometimes.
Mrs. O'Leary is an honorary part of the Black family, just because she's a wolf.
Oh my god.
All right.
I mean Jacob Black, not Sirius Black. But we could think of it that way.
I did get that confused, just so you know.
Did you?
I was confused what you were talking about, and then I'm like, wait, we just said Twilight. What the fuck is she again? I've already forgotten.
I always pictured her in my head as like a husky German Shepherd mix, but like the size of a horse. I don't know if that's accurate.
I think she's bigger than a horse. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do they say she's a black mastiff in the books?
I think so. I was looking it up. Does it say what type of dog you
See,
are?
and that's not how I imagine her at all. In my brain, she's like a unit of a dog. Just like
Mastiff.
a square.
No, she absolutely. Well, like German Shepherds and Huskies, they're both really big, fluffy dogs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, like, that's why I thought of Mr. Lear as like just an absolute unit. Like, there's no there's no body fat on her at all. She's just pure muscle.
See, that's like the opposite of the way in my brain she is a square with like little squat legs, and I don't know why.
But she's so big.
Yeah, she's an enormous dog, just square shaped.
Wait, I'm gonna look up a dog that I think that you are describing.
Are you just imagining the wolves from Minecraft just really, really big?
No, like I don't know.
How can I send this to you?
Like all of her body and face are one. Like in my brain, this dog has no neck.
Yeah.
That's
I'm finding
fair.
an image
That's
of
fair.
this. I'm finding this image.
And I don't know why, and also I couldn't describe breeds to you because I don't know shit about dogs.
Do you at least know what those 2 dog breeds look like that I described?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Can I put pictures in the chat here? I don't know if I can.
I don't think you
know.
can. That's what I was trying to do. I'm just gonna send it to both of you through Discord.
That's fine.
This is the dog that Ray is describing to me.
That's about right. Charlie just sent an image of a dog from My Sims. That's correct.
That dog has no head. It's just face on a body.
Yes. Oh my god, have I forgotten what his name is? Oh no.
He looks like a Weston to me. I don't know why.
Dogwood. That's his name. His name is Dogwood.
How fucking on the nose can you be?
It is the most important thing in My Sims Agents. This is the thing that starts you off on your journey, is that the bad guy wants to steal this dog from a small child.
I will protect Dogwood with my entire fucking life. If anything happens to Dogwood, I will kill everyone in this room and then myself.
He's like,
Thank you, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for that.
he's like, no, this is my
You're
dog.
welcome, Robert. I created a meme for you.
This man is like, no, this is my dog. And the small child's like, he's trying to steal my dog. Help me. And that starts him being your rival. Like, after this, he's like, you've insulted me and my honor by
saying
doing
that
this.
I stole this dog that I did steal.
Yes. And then he makes it his mission to destroy you. I love My Sims Agents. I can't explain it.
I've never heard of this game in my life.
The My Sims games are so funny.
Never heard of them. Ever. Never even touched them.
I have mentioned them, and they're everything to me. Because it's Animal Crossing, but they're little chibi people instead, and also instead of capitalism, they live in a socialist society.
So they're better than Animal Crossing, is what you're saying?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You're welcome. I've helped you with your favorite thing now.
I hate Tom Nook with a passion.
And then My Sims Agents actually has a plot.
Tom Nook gave you a no-interest loan, so put some respect on his name.
That is the only amount of respect I will give him. The only amount.
I'm just gonna send a picture of Dogwood just to the of the Eldest Gods chat with no context.
Good.
We love that.
Everyone should look at this dog.
We love no context pictures.
So speaking of dog, Percy takes his hellhound for a walk in the forest. And he runs into Nico, Juniper, and Leneus, some old guy from the Council of Cloven Elders. Juniper is asking Leneus to help search for Grover, and he is having none of it because he hates him so bad. Percy, he literally just goes off, and he scares Leneus away entirely because...
That man deserved it.
Yeah.
So much so that he shits himself, by the way.
Apparently, indeed. Juniper pieces out because dogs and trees do not get along. Nico tries to convince Percy to go along with his apparently very dangerous plan and is very, very intense about it. Percy's like, I'm dying. Annabeth's mad at me. What do I have to lose? And he's like, all right, let's do this thing.
Boy.
They end the chapter by shadow traveling, which fucking rules, over to Luke's mom's place.
I forgot, this is, we had to get to the 5th book and this chapter to get to shadow travel. It's such a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that we've, brought it up in the podcast
This is the first time we actually know what it is.
Yeah.
Other times, Nico just showed up.
Yeah.
He does that.
I don't know if we've spoiled that for our people, but, oops.
Whoopsies.
It's the first time that it actually exists. And we know that, Nico isn't just, here because he has to be here for plot reasons. It's no, there's a reason why he just shows up and he's fucking scary. It's because he does appear out of the shadows.
I cannot help but imagine a tiny 12-year-old kid doing that. Because, Nico is 12 in this book, but he looks older than that.
So Percy says, but he doesn't say, taller or whatever. His energy is just older, because he's, fucked up.
Or, he looks older in his face, like somebody who's smoked for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
No!
That's what I'm thinking about.
No. I'm trying to create, a parallel here. I'm not saying Nico's a chain smoker. I'm just saying, that's the kind of vibes he gives off.
This tiny 12-year-old boy is a chain smoker.
Hey, you'd be surprised if any of our grandparents did that at that age. Or maybe you wouldn't, I don't know.
I'm not surprised at all. I know, in fact, members of my family have smoked.
Well, because, my grandparents are from small-town Missouri. There's not a lot to do out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Granted, my great-grandfather was the bigger smoker, and he passed away from lung cancer before I was born, which made all of his kids not want to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
on that happy note,
I am just thinking about, 12-year-old children who are creepy are already very creepy.
Oh
Imagine this boy who with eyes beyond his years, and he could just appear in the shadows.
Okay. Now I'm just imagining like even smaller Nico and how he must have been a creepy child, sees ghosts and all of that shit. As a 5-year-old.
Oh, I love that for them. Him and Bianca.
Like the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Nico and Bianca are
kid.
As small children, just holding hands, going around talking to air, and
I don't even know if I see Bianca as doing this.
It's just Nico. It's just Nico.
She's a child of Hades too. If
they
he's
might not
naturally
have the same
creepy,
powers.
they might not. But
we don't even know if Bianca had any, do we?
The only power she
up.
exhibited was the ability to destroy those skeleton ghost guys, whatever they were.
Turn undead. Great.
Yeah, she had necrotic damage. That's what she had. So,
I'm saying I think Bianca has creepy little girl rights.
Oh, like the twins from The Shining?
Exactly.
Oh wait, both of them. So you're saying is like we have the two of them holding hands and being like, "Want to play with me?"
Exactly. Yeah. Are you seeing my vision now?
I see the vision, Ray. I see the vision.
And that's just how like Percy meets them. Actually, is like
they're just standing, holding hands at the end of the hallway, just like hi.
Oh God.
And then Nico starts talking about mythomagic, and you're like, "Oh, you're just a little nerd."
I love my little creepy nerd. I just want to give him a hug. He needs
Big
one.
mood. He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy, and he's very neurospicy.
All right.
And
yeah.
You didn't see it, my good friends, but Ethan just did. The
universal
hand.
gay sign.
Yeah.
The hands.
I was like, how do I even describe that?
Listen, he's a Hot Topic goth.
This is true.
That's all you needed to say.
Goth, nonetheless.
Everyone who works at Hot Topic is queer. I've been in there. I know.
No, I know. I know this.
All right.
Okay.
So,
because Nico has a crush on Juniper in this chapter. Or at least
okay, we'll have to talk about that when we get to it, because I was yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But, okay, I've been avoiding it for so long. I've let us riff and riff because I have almost nothing for this myth section.
Well, the problem is that's just going to be riffing also, so we gotta get to it.
That's true. So, in case you mythed it, I have no actual myth. I was trying so hard to see if there was something about teleportation that I could talk about and like the origins of that.
Before we started recording, we were all just frantically Googling.
And I'm like, It's giving me sci-fi. Stop giving me sci-fi. Give me something that's like before the invention of like science fiction media. Come on. I know like the ability to transport yourself magically from one place to another has existed in other places.
There literally have to be wizards in the past who are just like, I can just appear places. Like,
but it's not searchable easily.
Who
at
knows?
least.
Or we were using the wrong words to do it.
Yeah,
right,
we're trying so hard. Like Ethan was coming up with like apparate from like Harry Potter, like that. I mean, it's a word that technically could mean that, but when you Google it,
Latin
it's like
origin. It's like. So I googled like the word origins, and it does just mean to appear, which is also where you get like apparition, like ghost.
When I just straight up Google apparition, it was like it's a ghost, and I'm like,
yeah,
thank you, Google. That's not what I meant, but thank you. It just means like to appear. Yeah. I mean,
when I was thinking about like fast travel in like mythology, the only thing I could come up with was 7 League Boots.
Yeah.
So that, sorry, I googled it. I actually found the wiki for that.
Good.
So
I'm looking up now.
Oh, thank
those
God.
are from European folklore, and it's when you take a stride, you walk 7 leagues in a single step.
Yes.
How far
is that?
Yeah.
What is a league?
Hold up.
Percy would know this, right? That's
well, because Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Okay, a league is
roughly
some
3
bullshit,
miles.
basically.
Roughly
it's an
3 miles.
Celtic unit. And it means a bunch of different.
Jules Verne is wrong, or I'm wrong.
Okay, but a league might have originally been roughly the distance a person could walk in an hour.
Oh, so about 3 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, the average walking speed for a person is about 3 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
So 7 leagues is about 21 miles then?
Okay, so wait, how is Jules Verne wrong? Is
because the sea is not 20,000 leagues deep.
It's
That's
not that
60,000 miles.
Yeah.
Well, how good did it be sance back then?
Hold on.
Figured out the circumference of the Earth.
Be wrong, actually.
Shadows. So like,
didn't they also like? He literally tried to do science fiction stuff, and it was very fake, like trying to get people to the moon. Yeah. Don't trust Jules Verne anyway for your actual science facts.
Okay, I'm wrong. It was 20,000 leagues was how far they traveled while being underneath the sea, not how far they went down.
Huh. That
sense.
makes sense, but I've never conceptualized
It's a
it that
very
way.
confusing way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
huh.
I never knew that. Interesting.
Which,
Anyways.
60,000 miles around the world, sure. That's multiple times, but sure.
Okay, I want to get back to this 7 league boots thing for a second
Sorry.
because there's the other variations of it, and I think they're funny. Russian folklore has just fast pace boots. That's cool.
Okay.
Finnish and Estonian translations say it's boots of 7 Scandinavian miles.
What's a
does that
Scandinavian mile?
A Scandinavian mile is a unit of length common in Norway and Sweden, but not Denmark.
Mats, can you help with this, please?
It sounds like
It
how
is-
different countries have different dollars. They're like, no, this is just our mile.
It has its own like thing. Like it's today it's standardized as, I'm reading from the Wikipedia, standardized as 1 mil. I don't know what that means. It's either 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles. But it had different
That's
values
so
in the
long.
past.
Okay.
Yeah, that is long.
Oh, the old one was 36,000 feet. Damn.
Interesting.
This is just weird. Thank you
Measurements are
for
weird.
learning about Scandinavian miles now. Okay, they also had like similar-ish boots in a Japanese tale. What are they called? The Thousand Rai boots is what they're called. Okay.
Is that an old unit of Japanese measurement?
It's not really giving me a lot here. It's just giving me like the tales that it's from.
Okay.
Just says they're similar. And then there's the 9 mile boots. Is a phrase from Latvia.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So basically, in several different countries, there are boots that take you a long way with one step.
Make you walk far.
You know what?
Which-
These boots were meant for walking.
And
That's just what they'll do.
What they'll do.
Yeah. Anyways, I only know about these because I read Howl's Moving Castle and Gail Carson Levine's The Two Princesses Bamarre, which are both great books. And also, I feel like they both have like kind of wild 7 League Boots scenes where you talk about how inconvenient it is to like literally not even be able to see where you're going to be stepping.
Now, if you were in my neck of the woods, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I bet you
So
could walk
listeners,
through Iowa.
I'm located in the Midwest, and my state is known as being flatter than a pancake.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. What are you going to step in? A cornfield? It'll be fine.
probably. Or a soybean field. Or a wheat
Yeah.
field, depending on where you are.
Oh, so soybean fields.
Okay, I think you hit the nail on the head there with the 7 League Boots, because I'm not seeing any other mythological objects, because I'm on my favorite Wikipedia page, which is the list of mythological objects page. The closest other thing is like a magic carpet, where it's like it could maybe transport people instantaneously.
Yeah, that's one of the things I came across when Google searching as well.
I guess that I think of Magic Carpet as flight, so specifically probably
too.
just because of the Disney
Yeah,
movie. I
probably.
blame them.
I'm right there with you.
I mean, also blame Disney for coming up with 3 wishes. It wasn't 3 wishes.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty
How
sure
many
it was
was it
infinite.
in Arabian Nights?
I'm pretty sure it was just infinite if you wanted it to be.
Huh.
But like,
Interesting.
No, okay. I understand
like
why
the Three
Disney
Wishes
did that,
concept
though.
is
They had
older
to
than
nerf
that.
it. It's too powerful.
yeah, I don't think like there was a specific number, because when I've looked it up, it's
Interesting.
just been like, yeah, he wished. There were also multiple genies, so it doesn't really matter how many wishes there were.
There you go.
So I feel like there should be some other kind of shadow travel that I can think of. Because I swear that that's a trope that I've seen otherwise, but I can't think of any other.
Why is my brain thinking of like fairy rings or something? Like,
I
You
thought
know,
that
like-
was like a portal for fairies to come into our world from theirs. Or
Well,
is that a different thing?
it could also like fuck you up if you end up in
yeah,
one
you're
of
not
them.
supposed to go in a fairy ring because then that can take you to the
True.
fairy world.
Yeah, that's like a
Hmm.
type of folklore teleportation kind of thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That I can think of off the top of my head. But I don't know of anything that's specifically like shadow travel. Rick definitely like wholesale made this up because he did kind of rebrand Hades' helmet to be like, it's the helm of darkness and shadows, and it's not just like, it's just a cap of invisibility. That's what it's supposed to be. But he's like,
Right.
Hades has
No,
stuff
I
going
already
on.
got one of those. We need to do something else.
Basically, Hades just like goes to the void and
Yep.
shadows.
Yep.
He goes to the shadow realm.
The Shadow Realm.
That's where we're going.
That's what he does in the video game too.
Mm.
I'm
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure Mythomagic and Yu-Gi-Oh are very similar.
I don't think you're wrong.
It's either Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon.
Okay, but I'm almost certain that there's a board game element. We can't get into Mythomagic again. I'll go insane.
I'm sorry.
All I ask is that Rick, since you like literally quit doing your PhD so you could continue to write books and work on visual media based on this stuff, please make Mythomagic a real thing.
It would be so fun.
Please. That's all I ask.
Okay, but even if he
with
made
his-
a canon version, I wouldn't believe him. I'd be like, that seems nice, but also
I want the merch. I'm just
You want
saying.
to own a Mythomagic set?
Yes, I would learn how to play it, and I would become a Mythomagic person. That would become my life.
And we love that for you.
So that I could be Nico.
dye your
Okay.
hair black, coward.
I can't get rid of the ginger.
I know, it's so important
Like,
to you.
until
As-
my hair starts going white, I'm not gonna dye it. Okay?
I was gonna say, gingers don't really get gray hair. Your hair just gets lighter.
I was gonna say, I've heard otherwise. I've heard that we actually go gray faster, so
Well,
I don't know.
This is based on my interaction with my roommate's mom, who was a redhead, and her hair just got lighter. She didn't go gray at all.
We'll see. I've seen gray hairs on my own head, so.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, me too. Me too.
You do work with children, so
I've
that is
had gray hairs since I was a teenager, okay? It's called stress.
I started getting them in college.
So Percy Jackson.
So Percy Jackson.
This chapter's a
who
short
also-
one,
Who also has
listeners.
gray hair.
That's true. He does have a streak of gray.
Oh, right, he does.
I'm just like
Him and
Percy.
Annabeth.
And Luke!
We can all start
Yep.
going gray together.
Yay!
Love that.
We all lifted up the sky. You know what? That's what
True.
you can say when your hair starts going gray. It's like, you know what? This is from lifting up the sky.
You could say
Actually.
it's the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'll see myself out.
God. I could say that if I wanted to sound like a tool.
As if you want
Like
one.
I said, I will see myself out.
All right.
You're
all
not
right.
wrong. I'm just thinking about it and like, oh God.
Okay. So, Ethan, you proposed that Mrs. O'Leary was the size of a horse.
Yes.
Percy says she's
Oh.
the size of a garbage truck.
Oh,
Yeah, I was.
very
That's
big.
actually bigger than I was imagining. I was imagining like a shed,
Okay, sure.
like something you would keep your lawnmower in. Garbage truck
Yeah.
is quite large.
Yeah, like my head might come up to her knee, maybe.
I think.
How did he get on there?
I think she had to lay down for him to get on.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess so.
definitely. I know. I think it's like a few chapters or something from now when she's going to end up in Percy's apartment. But
How is
she,
that possible?
she is the size of his apartment. She is the
Fair.
full size of his apartment.
How did she get through the door? Oh,
Shadow
she
travel.
didn't.
Shadow travel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's gigantic. Just so we're all aware. I guess she now looks like Dogwood.
See, she's the size of a garbage truck, but she's also shaped like a garbage truck. You see what I'm saying?
I was gonna imagine
Head, just garbage truck.
what I wanted to imagine her looking like was like a black Saint Bernard, like just
Okay,
all
sure.
the floof,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, just big floofy dog. But now I can't get Dogwood out of my head. She has no legs. She has no neck. Oh, I'm gonna have to post that to our socials. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Just a unit of a dog.
Absolutely. Okay, so we also have to bring up Beckendorf here because, like, he also took care of her.
God, just to rub it in. Thanks, Rick.
It's like
Rick, why do you tug on my heartstrings like this? That's rude.
We didn't get enough Beckendorf while he was alive, so we got to bring him more into it and be like, you know what? He also played with the dog. Actually, he gave her. Is it a celestial bronze? Yeah, it's a celestial bronze chewing bone.
Yep.
Man.
So the bone has got to be like the size of like a compact car, at least.
That bone could kill her.
Maybe.
She just has to not see the problem with giving your dogs like chicken bones and stuff is that they can shatter and then the sharp pieces will get in them. I think that the bronze is probably good enough that it won't shatter and then there won't be any sharp edges to pierce your dog.
That's why I don't give my dog chicken bones.
I didn't know people gave them chicken bones.
Sometimes.
Well, you're not supposed to, so
you're not supposed
don't
to.
Anyways.
I mean, I've not owned a dog. I've just you know, my cousins were dogs. My uncle had 2 dogs. They were my grandmother's grand dogs.
Sorry, you just said my cousins were dogs, and I'm still not over it. That's kind of a wild sentence.
Yeah, like, they were my cousins.
Because someone can say, this dog is my baby, but when you say this dog is my cousin...
Well, my grandmother considered them her grandchildren, and they were the favorites, so...
Right. Like, my sister and brother-in-law have 2 dogs. They're my niece and nephew.
See, somehow that seems more normal to me than dog cousin. I don't know. I don't know what it is about that wording.
I'm sorry. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, well, yeah. Beckendorf had been her best friend.
Also forged her a collar with a smiley face and a Crossbones name tag. I'm insane over it. That's so wonderful.
I would get that for my dog so fast. Even though my dog is mostly Labrador and Miss O'Leary is not. So here we are.
She could be. She can be anything in your heart.
True.
If anyone really, really wants me to, I will make this our next piece of merch, is that I draw our dogwood-shaped Mrs. O'Leary with the cute little...
smiley face with crossbones.
How is she weird if she has no neck?
We'll find out. We shall find out, my friend. That'll be Of the Oldest Gods merch coming soon.
I swear, if you actually do that, I will buy that shirt so fucking fast.
Oh my goodness. So when she barks, it is louder than an artillery gun?
I mean, with a dog that size, doesn't that make sense?
Oh my god.
Like, my dog will bark if she thinks there's someone outside. There doesn't even have to be anyone outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's loud enough.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a dog the size of a garbage truck barking? How loud that would be.
Yeah. I'm also reframing this in my brain. So this giant fucking black dog, this is the same type of thing that attacked Percy in the first book when he was as small as Nico is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess a hellhound could look like any breed of dog.
Yeah, but I'm still imagining like this gigantic like garbage truck.
Oh yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Garbage truck sized giant black dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Very terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Percy, as a 12-year-old, took that on.
And nearly died.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
You can't really beat a garbage truck in a fight.
Have you ever tried, Ethan? Have you?
No, and I don't want to.
Oh my goodness. Garbage truck v. Ethan cage match coming soon.
So, sorry. I was just like Googling and thinking about dog breeds. I think that what I'm actually thinking of is like a bulldog. You know what I mean?
Like an English bulldog or a French bulldog? Because those look very different.
I don't know.
Are they different?
One has ears that stick up, one that has ears that are floppy.
I'm thinking floppy.
Okay, that's an English bulldog.
Okay, that's kind of what she looks like in my brain.
Did you talk about her being slobbery, so that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. A big slobbery bulldog. The size of a garbage truck.
Okay, according to the Riordan Wiki, this is what she looks like.
Yeah. I've looked at this picture. I know.
Okay.
I haven't. Give me a second.
She's just She's just a fluffy.
She's so floofy. She looks like
And,
I think she's a Newfoundland. I think is what she's supposed
That makes
to
sense.
be.
Yeah, that's also the old art. That's the only, like, old art I will accept is the Mrs. O'Leary one.
Right.
Most of the
That's
other
fair.
ones are, like, wrong.
Yeah.
Mrs. O'Leary's fine. She's a dog.
Yeah, she's a dog. She's not.
It's harder to
she's
mess
not
that
a
up.
cursed. She's not a cursed.
Nico.
Yeah.
So this dog on the wiki is fine. It doesn't look silly enough to me. I
Have
think
you
a
met
bulldog is a
Newfoundland?
sillier a dog.
Those dogs are fucking silly as
I mean,
hell. Like,
you're right, but they look distinguished with their big eyebrows.
no, but like
Oh my
they're
God.
they're so slobbery and they just love on you like nothing else. And I love Newfoundlands so much.
Aw.
They just have so much hair. Like, so much hair. I can only imagine how much hair Mrs. O'Leary sheds on a daily basis.
Oh god. Just like a huge push broom, just like cleaning out the arena
Yep.
every
Yep.
day. And you get
It
a
makes like a,
hairball
makes
that's
like
like
a
the size
bonfire
of you.
of Mrs. O'Leary's hair. Like, that's how much just comes off of her.
Oh, it would smell so bad.
No, but like that's the size. Not like you'd actually set it on fire, but like that's how big it
How
would
else
be.
do you get rid of it though?
I don't know.
My brain instead went to, I wonder what kind of potions you can make with the hair of a hellhound. I don't know
Oh,
why.
I'm sure it's definitely a potion ingredient in something.
Potion
We need more
of
magic
stinky.
users in here who like cast spells with potions and shit. Anyway, dragons
think,
and giant scorpions with
Hecate-
Jennifer.
Hecate may have some use for that.
Okay,
You girl.
my girl, I love a witchy gal.
You do.
Okay. So this dog, Percy lets her out because she's doing the barking like maybe she needs to go piss girl.
Accurate.
And instead of doing that, she goes to the clearing where the Council of Cloven Elders usually is. But instead of the full council, we just see Leneus,
And
Juniper,
also
and
their
Nico.
meeting room looks like shit.
Yeah, it does. It for
My
sure.
head is that's where Mrs. O'Leary pees. That's why it looks
Yeah.
like that.
Like she wasn't going towards these people. She just always pisses there.
And then she's like, "Oh, they're in my bathroom."
I can't pee here. There's people.
Well, she can pee on Juniper, or at least she wants to.
She wants to, but Juniper
She
did not
wants to
like
pee on
that.
Juniper so bad, which is wild to me.
Well, to her, she smells like tree.
Do dogs
Yeah.
So,
really
like-
just love tree?
Bella doesn't really care where she pees.
Mm.
They also
She
like fire
goes.
hydrants.
Again, I think it's only male dogs. Bella does not
Mhm.
care.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta talk about Nico and his cute little dancing skeleton shirt. I just love Nico's wardrobe because it's the same thing, but like the t-shirt is just it's a different type of skeleton gremlin man on it every time.
I always see Nico in like a black jean jacket.
Mm.
That's just me though, because like punk people will like have jean jackets that they paint.
Yeah.
I forget what they're
yeah.
called, but I think Nico has one of those, and like the back of it is like decorated with like symbols from the underworld.
I would love that for him. That's so good.
Maybe that's a look for him later on. Right now, he's like trying to reclaim his childhood as a he was from the 40s, World War II.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Yep.
I gotta have the aviator jacket so people know I'm
Right.
like old timey. Actually,
Yep,
Okay, aviator jackets just slap, okay? They're just cool.
they do.
it's true. I have
But,
one.
like-
It's a Nico.
But I'm talking about like Heroes of Olympus Nico. Like that's how I see him.
I can see it. He gets
So I
different looks.
actually have a very small collection of shirts with skeletons on them. Just because that's like an aesthetic that I have. I love them. Anyways, now I'm
Secret
imagining Nico with some of my skeleton shirts. Like,
We love that.
Okay, so
we are 2 pages in. Let's...
Oh God, this is a short chapter.
It's fine. There's not a lot going on here.
We just gotta do it.
But Leneus is like upset here that this hellhound is like in his space. I don't like
He
this
has-
old man.
He
Okay.
has a spider web between his horns. Someone should tell him about that.
No, fuck that guy. Like,
There's
okay,
there's so many
for-
things going on with him Like,
for listeners outside the U.S., I'm picturing him looking like a certain United States senator who has resemblance to a turtle.
oh, interesting. Okay.
That's what I think Leneus
see
looks
it.
like.
I can see it. There's just a lot going on with him. Like, some of this is a bit fatphobic.
Yes, he
it
keeps
could-
talking about the belly, and I'm like, Rick, please.
It's not as bad as a certain author who we don't speak
yes,
of.
indeed.
This is true.
But also, it's just
Not
like
great.
we're making him like as like fat and ugly as possible, and then we're like, he's also a shitty old white dude. Like, yes,
You
he's a
just
shitty
left
old
it,
white
shitty
dude.
old white dude. You just
Like,
left
we
it
could've-
there.
We could have just left it there. That's fine.
The
And
thing
I hope
is,
when we get there in this season of the show that they don't exaggerate that.
okay, the
It
thing
is-
is that fat people can be shitty.
They can.
It's just
No,
that
I know,
fatness is
but,
not
like-
linked to shittiness, and when you
No,
link
but,
them
like,
in
people-
this kind of way, this
People
little
very
book-
easily conflate those, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the way that Rick keeps honing in on that.
Uh-huh,
You
uh-huh.
could have just said it once and then
No,
left
Right.
it.
yeah. I want more characters who are very nice, who are also described as fat, and then
Well,
it's literally
I thought,
fine. But also,
I thought Castor and Pollux were fat.
I do
They're, like,
believe
I
one-off
think
so.
they're like
They are,
characters.
I think they're chubby, like
Yes.
cherub-like or something.
yes, I
Okay.
believe that's. How
I
they're
thought I
described.
remembered that
Mhm.
being a thing.
They're plump. Yes, they are
Big
also
boys.
fat, but
But they also get no lines.
But there's like a line in here where like after he falls over when he's getting up, it's like describing his belly jiggling, and it's like
Can we
Please
not?
stop.
it's using fatness as a punchline. It's like slapstick,
Right.
and that is never any good.
I'm not here for
No.
it.
Like, this guy's already bad enough. We didn't need to do that. Like, he's
Yeah.
not an outright villain, but he's not a great person either.
Yeah, no.
Great satyr, I should say.
Yeah, he's just an old white man with power, who really doesn't
Gross.
deserve it.
Gross.
Is that why he hates Grover? Because he's racist?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Thank you. That's literally where my brain was going with it too.
And Juniper, too. Like, I don't see Juniper as resembling a white person at all.
No.
I mean, now my brain is going to like what's her name, Zoe Saldana, who always is like in green or blue or something because
Mhm.
because Juniper is green.
oh yes, that's also true. She's definitely not white. She's literally green.
Right. Well, even then, like, I think of her as looking kind of, like Indian, like somebody from India.
Hmm.
Well, I was about to Google where juniper trees are from. So
Me too. I was
I
like,
don't know where they're from, but that's what I imagine
Hmm.
Juniper, the character, to look like.
Central to Southeast Asia. So
So
Well-
it's
so she could be Asian.
Ethan,
Southeast
you just gotta-
Asia.
You have a sixth sense. You're like, wow, I know the
Apparently.
character.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so yeah, Leneus is being sucky to Grover because Juniper just wants to know where the fuck her boyfriend is. We
right.
still don't know. We're still
Yeah.
stressed about this, and he sucks.
Yeah,
and you-
Leneus is giving big boomer energy here.
Yes, absolutely. Specifically, conservative boomer, like I refuse to change. I
Grandparents.
refuse to look at things from any other person's perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know no one like this. Absolutely none.
No, me neither.
Yeah, and I love that Percy's trying to like correct him, like, no, you didn't actually vote him into exile. Chiron and Dionysus voted you, like, stop that. And
Mhm.
Leneus, like, it wasn't a proper vote. They're not actually council members. I'll
And
tell
he's like-
Dionysus.
Yeah.
I'll tell
He's
him.
like, oh, nope. I mean, like, even though Dionysus is still in exile by this point, like, he can still do shit. Like, he can't drink, but he can do other things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's-
still a god. Yeah.
The only thing he's not allowed to do is drink, and
Right.
he's supposed to
So
be
he can, like,
And
Can't
also
he,
he's like
make you
literally in
crazy?
charge of these guys.
yeah.
Yes, he can drive you insane. It's part of his whole deal. Love
Right.
that for him.
Yeah, he could also we haven't seen them, but like, if his followers, the Maenads, were around here, he could tear you to shreds
Haha.
with them. I love the Maenads. They just rip you into pieces.
we love that.
Listen, we love some feral women who just, like, run around in the woods. That's what followers of Dionysus are.
Good for them.
Feral drunk women.
Hey, just a weekend with the girls, you know?
Exactly. You've heard of, like, cracking open a cold one with the boys? This is...
Nah, we're tearing people to shreds in the woods with the girls.
Just girly things.
Just girly things.
Hashtag just girly things. Okay.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out what the hell happened to Grover. And Leneus is like, he's probably dead. And Percy's like, he's literally not. I would be able to know.
Yeah. Also, there is something kind of thrown away here. It's like, the council hasn't been meeting lately. Like, their place looks like shit. And Marin and Selinus, where are they? Don't know. Leneus is kind of nervous about it.
Yeah, he knows where he's letting on, but that's not why they're there.
I'm intrigued to know what the fuck happened to them, actually.
I can't tell if you're, like, foreshadowing things from later in the book, or if you're actually asking questions, because I don't remember if they
I don't
ever
remember
come
either.
back. I get the impression here that things have gone so badly that the council has basically dissolved, and he's the only one who shows up anymore. The impression that I get here is of cowardice. Things got too hard, so they gave up.
That too. I mean, my brain was also going to, like, hey, remember how, like, Pan just, like, dissolved into the ether?
True.
What if that could happen to, like, other beings too? You know? Like...
Well, but, like, if satyrs die, and that goes... We go into detail about that, they wouldn't do that.
I mean... That's true. If satyrs, like, die like that. I'm just thinking, like, Silenus is, like, kind of a prolific figure in mythology. He's, like, Dionysus's bestie, usually. So, like, could be, like...
probably knows what's going on with him, is what you're saying. An
old enough figure and forgotten enough, somehow.
Sure.
That weird shit could happen. There's stuff going on with the wilds.
True.
Right now.
Yeah.
True.
So, like, what if satyrs disappeared? Maybe that's what he's alluding to. The satyrs are disappearing.
Yeah. Well, maybe this refusal to change could affect that. You know, if you don't move on with the West, with the heart of civilization, maybe if you stay in the past, you just fade away.
Wow, we're getting back to Western civilization and how we gotta keep moving on with it instead of holding on. Oh. Fuck you. Okay. So,
hey,
yes.
Leave Raye alone. They're doing their best.
No, I'm not talking about Raye. I'm talking about Western civilization can go fuck itself.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want you to leave Raye alone. They're just a little guy.
Wow. Just a little guy.
No, if I'm gonna go tell Raye to fuck off, I'm gonna go join them, okay?
What if we all just fucked off and stopped the podcast and never did it again? Bye, everyone.
Oh, that's
We're going off into the forest now.
That's not where my brain went, but y'all
that's
have
not
fun
where
with
mine
that.
was going either.
Oh, God. Well, anyways.
Raye, we're just a couple dirty boys.
I see that. I know
my
that.
brain always goes to flirting with my friends, okay? At all points in time. And Raye is one of the people who I flirt with the most, okay? We all know it.
Love you, babe.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, y'all deserve each other if y'all were ever to try and make that a thing.
Yes. Boston to South Dakota. It works so well. All right. Percy, in this moment, where he just, like, fucking grabs this tiny little satyr guy, is like, fuck you.
He really does.
Go do your fucking job.
I'm imagining him wearing, like, my junior history teacher in high school was the golf coach. He always wore, like, polo shirts, just various colors of polo shirts. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm imagining him wearing right now.
Mm. You know what? I did just realize that it is a shirt, that he has to be wearing a shirt for this to happen. Percy said it.
Yep.
I have not imagined these old satyr men wearing shirts.
Yeah, not really.
That's fair.
I imagine them being
satyrs usually aren't depicted wearing clothes.
They're more au naturel, because they're the older guys.
Right. It's like those guys at the gym who will just strip all the way down. No shame.
So what if instead Percy was, like, grabbing his like chest hair or some shit.
Don't say that. I hate it. I hate it.
As the only one of the three of us on the skull with chest hair, that would hurt.
He just rip it out. Oh God, don't.
No.
Ethan is upset.
Okay, so I love that he says I grabbed him by the shirt, which seriously wasn't like me. But
okay, Percy, keep lying to yourself, bud.
Come on, Percy. Remember that time you wrestled that old man, the old homeless man?
Yep.
You've certainly done this kind of thing before.
Right. Harassing old people is nothing new.
This is the kind of shit you see in like uber masculine like action movie or whatever. Just
yeah.
It's
but I'm imagining Leneus is like 4 feet tall because he's a satyr.
Oh, he has to be.
And Percy's probably like 5'8", so he's just like
lift.
Percy gets to be a tall boy.
How tall is he?
I believe he is 6'1".
Really?
Jesus H. Christ, he's taller than me.
Yeah, by the end of it,
I was not imagining him tall, like, ever.
Me neither.
I want to say he gets taller after this still, but like
6'1", big boy.
Yeah, he's a big man. But I imagine all satyrs as being like really tiny little guys.
Yeah, they're fae. Like that's what they do.
Fae are little tiny guys. Okay,
they're just little guys.
They can still be little fat guys. That's fine.
They're still little guys, though.
Yeah.
Well, also, people have gotten taller over the centuries. If they're
That's true.
Millennia old, then
they're short.
Then they're from the past when human beings were shorter.
He's like 3 feet tall, actually.
Well, I don't think people were normally hobbit-sized. Except for the people who are hobbit-sized in real life. God. Oh, man. I need to stop talking. Imagine calling a little person, like, hobbit-sized to their face. It would be within their rights to kill you, I think.
No, but I don't think they would. I mean,
but they could.
I'm
like,
imagining
legally.
Peter Dinklage, like, coming at me right now. Like, remember an elf?
Oh, yeah,
No!
we hopped on the table.
He literally, like, comes to murder you.
Oh, God.
Yep.
He's an angry elf.
This is why
I'm
you
sorry.
don't say it to their face.
I'm sorry, Peter Dinklage, if you're listening. Which, if you were, that would be fucking amazing, but I doubt it.
I'm sorry to all you short people. You were not hobbit-sized.
So if you want to own that, please do.
Yeah, unless you want to claim that. I can't tell you shit about your life. Anyways, we should stop. This is going so bad.
Okay.
Okay, Percy's speech here is incredibly good because he's like, he gives Leneus a real reality check. He's like, Cronus is going to attack. He's going to destroy everything in his path. That includes you, idiot. You are supposed to be a leader. Lead. And that's why Percy is within his rights to do, like, alpha male, like, grab you by your shirt collar.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I thought he was just gonna punt him. Like, kick him away.
You know what? He could have done that at the end, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah. This is someone who has a position of power and is literally just using it for the status and not caring about the people underneath him.
Oh, so you mean the entire U.S. government?
Hey.
Well, 98% of the U.S. government.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are good mayors out there who are doing the very best they can.
No, I meant, like, the federal government.
Well, yes.
Oh my goodness. Also the fact that was it who's saying this to him? Is it Juniper? Yeah, that Leneus, like, you shouldn't have him as an enemy. He's still like a Lord of the Wild. Who knows what the fuck that even means?
Probably doesn't carry as much weight as it used to.
Yeah, given that we've literally been talking about how the wild is disappearing.
Yep, the bees are disappearing. It's a Doctor Who thing. That's literally how I imagine them with, like, the satyrs are disappearing.
Oh,
like
I thought you
bees.
were being serious. Like, actually, the bees are disappearing, like in real
I mean,
life.
That is
true.
a real ecological problem, but also in Doctor Who, they were like, we're gonna take this ecological problem and make it into aliens, and they were like, bees are aliens, and they're leaving because they hate it here now.
Yeah, I love that.
It's just like, thanks for all the fish in Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide, yeah. Wow.
Ethan, I think you said you were watching Doctor Who. Yes, you were.
I
you were
started
trying
it.
to?
I did not finish it.
Okay. This is like happens in my favorite like Doctor companion duo, which is David Tennant and Donna. My faves. So someday, if you ever get there, you'll understand.
It's been a slow but steady progression. It's not like at the top of my list to watch, so
Wow,
sorry.
how dare you? Iroh will come after you.
She can if she wants to, but it's not really going to do much.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we kind of skipped over it, but they were really mad about Mrs. O'Leary, so Nico was just like, I'll walk the dog, and he just like chilled out for a little bit.
yeah, I love that.
He's very good in these parts of the chapter. He's so funny. I love him.
Just Nico's actually like so good, y'all. Okay, like every time I reread it, I'm like, I love him.
He's just a little guy. He needs some love.
Okay. I feel like at this point, now that Nico has like grown up a little bit, Rick writes him almost the same way that he writes Percy, but a little bit more traumatized and also goth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Percy, but make him goth.
Yeah, exactly.
And add trauma.
And which means that he's also just a funny little dude.
When you're stuck in a hotel for 70 years,
playing video
shit
games
happens. Yeah.
for 70 years. I feel like I could do that. That's how I feel when I play like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I'm just like,
same.
How many hours has it been? Oh God. It is now 3
It's 3
a.m.
in the morning. I need to go to sleep.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, Percy's like, I got bigger enemies than this little guy. And then we gotta get into like, can Nico sense when the satyrs have died? Like, can he sense where, if Grover has died or anything? Like, what's going on there?
And he says not
No.
really.
He says no, yeah.
They become plants. They do not have mortal souls. And
Yep.
this is part of my theory, that they become like nature spirits afterwards. They become like dryads or something.
I feel like this does make the most sense. The satyr dryad life cycle. It's how they make males and females of the same species. It totally follows to me.
So all dryads are trans? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not necessarily trans. It's that like you reincarnate.
Yeah. So you live as a satyr, you die, you reincarnate as a dryad, who are all female, and then you die, and then you reincarnate as a satyr, who are all male.
Again, they're also fae. So what is gender to like a fae creature?
No, that's true. Also,
like
True.
they're all non-binary. Like
Okay.
like gender is fake here. Grover.
Right.
Remember when the Hunters of Artemis were like, Grover's not a boy.
oh yeah,
That's right. They did.
I was
say
offended
that.
by that. Also, though.
I remember you being so offended, but like, come on, they're
He's boys in BOI. The boy.
he's he/him, but like not in a guy way. You know?
No, he's he/him in like, oh god. I saw
Grover,
somebody
he/him lesbian.
Maybe? I don't know. I saw somebody's post said that like I use she/her in the same way that like old school sailing ships use she/her.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
It's
beautiful. I just think of
they had a he/him as well, but I forget what the equivalent was.
I just think of Nimona and how like Nimona uses she/her pronouns, but like will gender fluid in too many things.
No, Nemo's just a gremlin. Like Nemo's gender is gremlin. That's
True.
how she does.
She/her, but gremlin.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now we need to talk about Nico blushing at Juniper and whether we think that is indicative of attraction or not. Because
might
in
be.
my brain and life, Nico is like gay, but I don't actually know if that's canon.
Nico Nico is not interested in Juniper.
Then why is he blushing?
See, to me, I was like, wait, is Rick writing attraction here? But like, at first it reads as embarrassment, like talking about like dropping into their middle of their conversation. But she puts her hand on his arm and his cheeks get brighter red. And imagine that you're a gay person and it feels like a pretty person of the opposite gender is kind of coming on to you. Wouldn't you get kind of flustered even if there's no attraction on your part? Okay, so he's like,
this is weird, don't do that.
Like, okay, have we talked about how, like, I mean, I have already said Nico's neurospicy, but like, is he autistic neurospicy? Or like... Just
yes, his special interest is mythomagic.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it read to me. He doesn't super read as ADHD to me.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like Nico might be an autistic one. So, could also just be like, I don't really want this person to touch me in this moment. Can you please not respect my boundaries?
That's true.
Please?
Also, to me, it reads as being flustered and not really knowing what to do with a situation. And I feel like that doesn't even, like, when you're that young and you don't quite know what your attraction is yet.
Yeah.
Like, my understanding is that he would still be figuring it out at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe he
I
doesn't
know. I was bi
know
until I was 21, so he's got
maybe
plenty
he
of
doesn't
time.
know it's just guys, and he's like, I don't know your gender, Juniper, but like, you're touching me.
Juniper doesn't have one. Like, you just said it doesn't matter.
Exactly what I was just saying. The Fae have no gender.
They're all like Barbies. There's just nothing.
She's a tree.
Exactly. There's nothing.
I feel like trees actually have both.
Yeah, they do, just not in the same way that people do.
So in other words,
though, intersex queen.
Exactly. Trees actually have more gender than Barbie.
You can actually have male and female trees, though, and the fact
that's right because okay, Ray, are you going on the same
in like cities and shit, and that's why there's so much fucking pollen.
Yep, because they don't want homeless people to have free fruit.
Because they hate them and all of us. So
I'm gonna relate this to the most recent season of Harley Quinn.
Very queer show. Okay, I can see that.
No, because the thing that I found out about the male and female trees was from that, because Poison Ivy was like, no, I'm gonna replace all of the male trees in the city with female trees. And that's her big villain plot.
I mean, let her do it.
Hey,
sometimes Poison Ivy is right.
I would say a majority of the time, several Batman villains are right.
Poison Ivy is always right.
Sometimes they are just like, a little freak wants to blow people up.
Right, like, the Joker's a socialist, which I get. But he's also absolutely fucking insane and murders people with crowbars, so...
Joker may be a socialist, but he is not based.
No.
But he's also the greatest mayor of Gotham, in Harley Quinn.
That's what I'm referencing, Charlie.
Exactly. Yeah, the one time Poison Ivy did it bad was when she tried to kill all the humans and turn them into trees. Otherwise, I support all of her plans.
You see, sometimes
I support women's rights and
like
women's wrongs.
She veers into ecofascism, which we are not about, but...
No, we don't.
But if she's into feeding the homeless, then I'm about that, so...
Right.
I think it was also like a jab to be like, feminism, make them all female trees. I think that was also part of it.
Well, I mean...
it was like, it was a joke on that a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, the writers at Harley Quinn know what they're doing. It's a very queer show, so...
They always do. Okay, so Juniper also, like, gets the fuck out because Mrs. O'Leary is looking at her, like,
It's like, ooh, a tree I haven't peed on yet. I'm gonna go pee on that.
I'm gonna go claim this territory.
Yep, that's how dogs do.
So she just, like, poofs into mist. I guess nature spirits can also, like, plant travel.
Yeah, there's a mechanic in D&D called tree walking, which I think is what she's doing.
Oh, right. I do remember this being a thing. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nico, right when he's having a conversation with Percy, he just absentmindedly taps his sword on the ground, makes a tiny creature out of animal bones, and then they knit themselves into a skeletal field mouse and scamper off. And I just love that Nico is casually doing necromancy as a stim. This is the autism also.
Yes, yes it is. And there's also like Viria fan art, I believe, of like this mouse and Nico. I'm pretty sure.
Love that. There's a character in an old season of a podcast I listened to. I forget what their name is, but they are in a wheelchair and their whole thing is necromancy, and they have like drawers in the wheelchair that just have bones of small animals in it.
Oh, I remember that. That slaps.
Wait, Ray, you listen to The Adventure Zone?
I do, yes.
Can you remember their name?
Up. I don't remember her name.
Rainier, that's her name.
There you go.
Cool.
That's the vibes I got.
Yeah.
Shit. So, Nico has talked to Beckendorf, his ghost, to be specific. And we get some closure on Beckendorf. He does not blame Percy.
Thanks, buddy.
Sweet boy.
And
Sweet
he's
summer child.
currently in Elysium, and he's okay with it. He's just waiting for someone.
Yep.
Don't know what that's about.
Yep. We'll get to it, I think.
Perhaps. Okay, so we finally get to talk about that dream that Percy had that Nico was in. Yeah, that actually happened. Nico was
And
was
he
fully
mentions
aware of
it
that.
so casually. Like he was dropping by a friend's house.
Yeah.
Right? Or like stopping by the grocery store on the way home.
Yeah, I just like was spying on the Titans. Don't worry about it.
Popping into your
No
dreams.
big deal.
You know.
Yeah.
He was looking for a lead on his origins and family. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he wants to
He's
know
still
what
trying
the
to do
fuck happened, why he was in this hotel for 7
like,
years.
Where is my
this
mom?
lawyer was.
Who is this? Yeah, how do we get out of here?
I would assume his mother is dead.
Well, yeah, by this point, sure, but like he doesn't remember her
Right.
at all.
70 plus years old. I mean, she could be a very little old lady. Who knows?
Because like if he was born in the 30s, that means she would have been born in like the 1900s or 1910s. So yeah,
Like,
she
yeah,
could.
She had to
like,
have been old enough to
old.
have a kid. And then, yeah,
Like,
so she would be
I'm
like 90
90.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
90 on average age-ish.
yeah, she could be alive, but
Yeah.
It's not looking
maybe,
great.
maybe not.
Sorry, Nico.
But Nico's like, you ready to do my cool plan now?
Oh yeah, the plan we still can't talk about because they have not
Right,
mentioned it and will not mention it.
We get some cool hints this chapter, though. Things
We
are
do.
Things are coming up.
Yeah,
Because-
it's something to do with like invincible, like invincibility.
How's that
How-
gonna happen?
How Riptide just like glanced off of Luke's skin and didn't
And
cut
Nico's
it.
like, we can do the same thing for you. And if you're reading this for the first time, you might be confused because you might be assuming that that's because there's a, Titan in him. So, like, how can Percy have the same thing go on?
Right.
We'll find out, I'm sure.
We
Well-
will find out probably within the next couple of chapters, if I had to bet.
Well, perhaps Luke had to do that so that like Kronos wouldn't burn him up from the inside when he tried to take him over.
Shh, Charlie,
Yeah.
you're giving it
Myrtle
away.
Mortal bodies aren't exactly built for Titan possession, so
Probably not.
Hey, when you look at a god's pure form, it will burn you up.
Yeah.
I
Unless
feel
you're
like one could assume.
Moses, apparently.
You know what? It's fine. Moses was a special dude.
True.
Also,
Sorry, I brought Judaism
things.
/ Christianity into this. We didn't need to do that.
well, cut this part out, but like in the Kane Chronicles, like they're just all up in there all the time, so
Yeah, that's
They're not
true.
Pure forms.
But
though.
it works a little
Exactly.
differently, though. I think,
yeah, it does.
right?
Yeah. I forgot where we were. Okay, so Nico also just like knows the prophecy. But we don't like dwell on it.
Yeah.
Percy's like, you just heard it from a ghost, I guess.
I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of dead people who know about that,
I just
right?
I just have questions. I want to know what's going on here.
Nico knows all kinds of stuff
Nico.
all the time. Don't worry
Why
about
do you
it.
know all this shit? Is he
Could
like
Nico
going
be
into
the spy?
Is Nico going into more people's dreams? Like he went into Percy's dream? I'm just saying. Okay, so yeah. They have to go now. Nico is like, this is the one time he snaps. He doesn't usually get that heated about things, but they have to do this now if they're gonna do it at all.
Okay, so we get the description that Nico has a strange, hungry light in his eyes, and he says Percy can become invincible. That's concerning.
Yeah, a little bit.
Normally when that
Didn't
happens
like
to
that.
people, that's because they're enchanted and it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
It's interesting. Nico having like a light in his eyes.
Also,
Mm.
Nico is so certain that it's going to come down to Percy and Luke. Why doesn't Nico want to become invincible and fight?
He's just a little guy. He
Icon
can
and stuff.
handle it.
Nico's got enough going on to deal with, He's still trying to
Right.
figure out what's going on with his family.
It's interesting that he's so fixated on Percy, though. But also, Percy's like one of the people who still talks to him and is like
True.
kind of chill with him.
Yeah, no, like Nico's fully like, okay, my sister saved you, so I have to make sure that like you have to honor this and you have to stay alive,
Right.
for
So that her
for
sacrifice isn't in vain. Mhm.
And also like remember Percy like chose this prophecy. I don't know how much Nico knows about like what he's doing for Nico. And like, I'm gonna be the one of the prophecy. I'm not gonna let it be this little kid who has to deal with this someday. So like
Right.
maybe Nico's like, okay, if that's gonna be you, I'm gonna make sure that you absolutely have everything at your disposal and you can like not die. And you can get through it.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's
a lot going
just
towards it.
interesting to describe someone as strange and hungry when they're talking about giving someone else power. It's an interesting. Yeah.
It's not a phrase I would have used.
I don't think Nico needs any more power.
No,
be
He
honest.
does seem to be doing pretty well
Nico's
for
not
himself.
getting the power, though. It's
Exactly.
Percy.
No, exactly. Like, it's not like he needs to be strange and hungry for himself getting the power.
But normally that's what you would think of someone as being. They're power hungry.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
Yeah.
it's not for Nico himself, it's for Percy, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It is
No.
interesting.
This kid is hungry for McDonald's.
Okay. Next page.
Throwback to Titan's Curse. Love that.
All right. So we got to learn about Luke and Luke's past. That's where we have to start here.
Mm-hmm.
And now here is where we get the comparison of the Last Olympian to the Half-Blood Prince. We have to learn about our villains' past to understand how to go forward and defeat them.
Yep, that's how that works.
This is like one of the things that I think is like the most similar. Actually.
Interesting. Huh.
Okay,
Between,
but
like,
they're
I feel like
actually
it
doing.
does- Go ahead.
Sorry, Ray. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like it does make sense for like
Yeah.
a last novel to be like, oh, it's my last chance to like make this character sympathetic.
Yeah.
Let me get up in there.
Yeah, let me take this character who I've built up as an absolute dick. Not only that, but evil, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like fully evil, and just kind of tack it on to the end that, yeah, there's more to him than just being a dick.
I just think it's interesting that you do that in the last novel. It feels kind of sloppy. Just saying. You could just do that outright from the beginning and make them
There's a
sympathetic.
plot reason they're doing it, which is
I know.
So, but
I
yes.
know.
Hey, Rick had a story he wanted to tell, and this just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with how he does it, actually. But, like, the way you're saying, like, oh yeah, like, it just kind of, you gotta do it in the last-ditch effort to,
Yeah, no, you're right. It does
sympathize.
feel sloppy writing-wise. But
yeah, if you come at it from that point of view.
I wonder if Rick's talked about that fact at all.
If he tried to do it earlier, or if he thought
Either
about
that,
it.
or that, or like why he waited this long.
Yeah. I want to know how much of this was plotted out.
I
Not
don't
gonna
know
lie.
where else you would have slotted this information in. I don't know where else it would have fit also.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's exposition, so, like, you have to fit it in somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll talk more
but I
about
don't
this
really-
next chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can guarantee that.
For sure. So, we can't use a Pegasi because Nico...
I hate Nico.
Nico don't get along with horses. It's not great. Poor boy.
Horses can read vibes, I guess.
It's all the death vibes. They're just not into it. He needs a skeletal horse. Again, I'm thinking like the ones in like Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, the right in the depths that have a tail somehow, even though they don't have hair anywhere else.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's so sad that you can't like register those things.
I've tried. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I really thought I could. I was like, I gotta get there before the sun rises so I can put my horsey away. And they were like, what the fuck is that thing? Go away.
Take it away.
Can you
Kill it
register
with fire.
deer? Can you register
Yeah, you
anything on a horse?
You can't register anything but a horse. I tried to register a deer. It didn't work.
Why?
It's so sad.
I'm upset. I'm very upset now. So yeah,
You can also ride bears, by the way.
I did hear about that. But I've only just gotten attacked by a bear. So
That's fair.
we'll see what happens. So yeah, this is where Nico explains, hey, you can just like ride Mrs. O'Leary into the shadows and get to Connecticut. It'll be fine. You want to try it? I'll meet you there.
Yeah, he's not going with them. He's like, oh, tell her where you want to go.
I
She'll
think
go
it
there.
might wear Mrs. O'Leary out a little bit too much if you took like 2 extra
Both
people.
of them?
Yeah. So Nico's like,
Sure.
I'm gonna do it myself, wear myself out a little bit, because I don't want to hurt the doggy. Okay?
Nico does love animals, so
Yeah.
I can see that.
Nico loves his dog. Okay? We
He's
all
a
love
good
this dog.
girl.
So yeah, Percy's never ridden this dog before, but now he can. And yay! We're going to Westport, Connecticut, the home of May Castellan.
I never thought their name was pronounced that way.
How would you pronounce it?
Castellan.
I don't know anything.
I don't know if that's correct or
I have
not.
said it, but
I know
I don't know if
nothing.
that's correct. I don't know if it's incorrect. That's just how it always sounded in my brain.
I don't remember how the movie said it. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Probably not.
If I hadn't already done it in the myth section, you know what could have been my myth section for this chapter? Because we got to know what Luke's mom's name is.
May?
Yeah. We could have talked about Maya, Hermes' mom.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Hermes got a mommy complex, I guess.
God, please.
Mommy issues, you know?
But I've already talked about her because that's actually the word that he has to say to activate the shoes. is
That's
Maya.
right.
Yeah. Fun little things, little references all over the place.
We love that.
So, Ethan,
Charlie?
now we finally finished the chapter. Ethan, if you want the people to find you, where can they do so?
You can find me on Instagram at ethan.t.hulen. My last name is for some reason hard to spell, but it'll be in the title of the episode, so let's find that. I'm also on Threads for whoever uses that. Same thing, because, it's an Instagram derivative. I don't
Yay.
use Twitter anymore, so
You mean
there's that.
Zitter?
Shut up.
I like to call it chitter. It's the Greek letter chi. But
I refuse to call it by whatever name Elon's calling it until he calls his daughter by her right name. So
oh boy.
That's fair. I just think it's funny to put just like the X in front of Twitter and bastardize it. It's funny to me how people
you
have
can
been
do that
spelling
all
it.
you like. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Media. What media have people been consuming that's not visual media?
I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, have you done the bear thing?
No. I know of it. I have not done it myself.
It's one of the only things I know about that game.
I mostly want to
could afford
bang
Baldur's Gate 3.
the tiefling woman, Karlak. She
Good.
is devil mommy, and I love her.
Amazing. Beautiful.
So the wizard did flirt with me, but I rejected him.
From what I hear, everyone in that game flirts with you.
That's true. But I did not like the wizard. I did not like his vibes.
Can I romance all of them at once? Is this a
You can
Hades
try.
situation?
You
I
can.
think
Like,
there are certain
if you-
characters who are polyamorous and certain characters who aren't.
I believe so.
think
I
that's
haven't checked.
Valid.
I haven't checked because that's not the way I swing. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not polyamorous in real life, but I would do it in a video game.
go for it, my dude.
I don't
I
want to
believe in you.
choose. Why would I
No,
want
I'm saying, like, do all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Though there
I
there is an elf twink that I think you might like.
Oh.
hmm His name is Astarion, and he's a vampire.
Right. I've heard about this one. Yes.
Everyone loves this
Mhm.
man so much.
Correct.
I personally don't understand, but I know that he's some people's type.
Is he a sexy man? Like a Tumblr sexy man?
Yes.
Oh yes,
That feels like the vibe.
100%.
yes. He has Tom Hiddleston, Timothy Chalamet.
I love when I look up Elf
Vibes.
Vampire Baldur's Gate 3, it just comes up.
Well, of course.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
he is a Tumblr sexy man, not a traditional sexy man. So
Yes. No. Exactly. That's the vibes
Like-
I'm talking about.
From what I understand, he's like deeply traumatized and hides it underneath being a silly, goofy little guy. Like, that's what the Tumblr girlies love.
Mm-hmm.
he's also a very sexual guy because, like,
Yes.
the act of being a vampire is somewhat sexual.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, my plug is going to be another Percy Jackson pod because I'm still listening to all of the other Percy Jackson podcasters and
Nice.
supporting other friends is very cool. I recently listened to all of which one? Camp Half Bod. They're very fun. So many of these podcasts do not go chapter by chapter. They go like 3 or 4 chapters at once. And I'm like, man, why did I choose this life for myself? It's gonna take so many years. Longer than everyone else.
Because you modeled yourself after the restricted section.
Yes, I blame you, Christina, fully.
Oh, wow.
I'm coming after you.
Wow. She's gonna scrape her elbows under that bus.
Okay,
Good
but
Lord.
think about the way that we talk about these books. Do you think you could go faster?
No, I don't. I absolutely don't think
emotionally.
I could.
Like, we've been on this call for 2.5 hours, at least, right? No, 2 hours.
You can see,
Almost
you can see
2
the number.
hours.
You can literally
2
see the
hours.
number up there, okay?
Oh, an hour and 45 minutes. Okay. Whoopsie.
You guys are so gay.
Correct.
Wow.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. So I just like listening to other people who are smarter than us, also doing things that are smarter than us. Like they're already on trials with Paulo.
Oh my god.
And I'm
Wow.
like, we're never gonna make it there. Not for the next 20 years.
It won't be that long.
It'll be long, man. Here's
It'll be
Olympus they're the biggest fucking books.
They
They
sure
are thick.
And it'll still be like 3 years till we get there.
Are y'all doing Kane Chronicles after this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing
Okay.
Chalice because
break.
that comes after Heroes.
Right. That makes
Oh.
sense.
We're doing Kane next. And those are also the first one is like 40 chapters long. It has no business being
We're
that fucking
gonna
long.
we're gonna
Aren't the
change up our
chapters
format
shorter
next
in Kane?
book series.
No, the first book is gigantic. The
It's been a
other
long
2
time
books are
since I've read it.
smaller.
I knew
We'll
that.
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Okay, Ray, do you have a plug?
Okay. Not really, but I mentioned the Two Princesses of Bamarre earlier, and I think
Oh.
that I've already recommended the works of Gail, Carson, Levine before. But
I think
that's
so. Maybe.
one of my favorite like fantasy books ever. So let me
Plug
just plug that one in particular. It's so the world is so rich and wonderful. Sorcerers are a species. They are not humans. A sorcerer is born when lightning strikes marble. And so rich people who can afford marble will put like a slab of it out in the hopes that they'll see a sorcerer being born.
Do they abduct the baby and raise it as their
No,
own?
sorcerers aren't born as babies. They're fully grown and able to speak and talk and walk and stuff.
Oh, it's like Athena. Nice.
So I'd just like to tell y'all one thing about sorcerer. Did you know that like the term sorcerer was a term for gay people like pre the 14th century?
Hell
Of course it
yes!
was. Of course it was.
So I just want us to start calling each other sorcerers again.
Hell yeah.
Like,
I'll reclaim that.
yeah, that's
Well, but the thing is, in D&D lore, sorcerers are like magic frat boys.
What?
Here's the
I
thing.
don't recall that.
Let me explain.
I know it's because their
Please do.
lineage. It's like a
Yes.
lineage thing.
Yes, it's because one of their parents was magical in some way.
Mhm.
Well,
So they didn't have to work for their magic, right? They got
well,
daddy's
there's
magic.
draconic lineage in which that would be the case, but like
Yes.
wild magic can happen to
Wild
anybody.
magic, right. Wild magic is more random. I was talking about draconic bloodline.
Okay,
and
okay,
there's
well.
some other ones too, but
So you're saying
Those are
dragons
the-
are frat boys? Okay.
no, the bards that fuck dragons are frat boys. And that's how you end up with draconic bloodline sorcerers. You're welcome.
It has to be specifically a bard. I mean, the bard would,
It's the
But so
stereotype.
would-
Like that's just how it happens.
but so
So
would
Frank Holtz. Frank Holtz would fuck any dragon they came across.
Frank would fuck anything.
Correct.
I've
Anything
said
that's
this-
not bolted to the ground, Frank will
I
fuck it.
said that Frank would fuck a tree canonically.
Frank would try. It would hurt, but he would try.
Well, like the tree boat thing that we have in our campaign. Like
That's right. That's right.
like,
Yeah.
Frank would fuck one of those.
He would try to fuck the willow. The willow would not like it.
Anyway, this is my character, my first D&D character who was a himbo paladin, who would fuck anything.
And went to space to meet his mom.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, he's just a soft boy.
We love Frank. He is the best.
Oh my goodness. We need to Ray.
We need to end this.
Oh, Charlie, release us from this mortal coil.
Yeah. I was almost gonna say it.
I was just letting y'all go off. Who knows
Okay.
when this podcast ends?
I don't know anyway. Get out of my fucking cabin because I'm like dissipating into the shadows actually. I'm going to Connecticut right now. I don't know why Connecticut specifically, but like
Imagine dissipating into the shadows and you end up in Connecticut.
of all
Fucking
places.
Connecticut, bro. Sorry.
That's fine, it's over. It's done. Goodbye.
I was gonna say I apologize to all our friends who are from Connecticut. Goodbye.
I don't.
Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely God Complex level patron, Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support, bud.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Super Scary, a love letter to superheroes, sci-fi, and horror movies, hosted by Josh.
Do you love to be super scared? Do you enjoy listening to hilarious hot takes on timeless classics? Well, fear not, listeners. I'm here! Welcome to the Super Scary Podcast, where we cover everything from the supernatural to the superpowered. I'm your host, Josh, a scaredy cat nerd who enjoys superhero, sci-fi, and horror movies way too much. Whether I'm processing my trauma from Texas Chainsaw Massacre or reminiscing on the nostalgia of Hocus Pocus, my guests and I have a hilarious time going through our favorite and sometimes not so favorite moments. I'm your friend till the end, listeners, because everyone's entitled to one super scary podcast. We post weekly episodes on Mondays, and you can find us at Super Scary Podcast on all the socials. See you in the afterlife, listeners.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
The eyes.
Just has an existential crisis. What am I supposed to do?
What am I, Hedwig? Who am I? Wait, I did it backwards. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Deus Ex Media.